Guys, am I live? Somebody let me know if I'm live. If I am live, welcome to the channel. If I'm not live, we'll figure something out. But I'm just going to check online real quick to make sure I'm live. And we'll go from there. Got a lot to talk about today. A lot to talk about. I'm not really happy with the results we just had in the game that just passed. So hopefully we can figure that out. Ooh. I am live, but I don't like the thumbnail. That's not the thumbnail I had designed at all. So not happy about that. But let's just keep going and I'll change that for later. Guys, this one is on the club as far as I'm concerned. The reason why we're not doing so well, the reason why things aren't going so well for us, for Ruben Amorim, for the whole squad, is on the club. I think that they underspent last summer. I think that it's obvious that we should have spent a hell of a lot more. And we left this manager with very little to work with. I think that's obvious. So this January, it's going to be the make it or break it type of month. I think our whole season rests on how this next month goes. Our whole season is going to be dependent on whether INEOS spend or not. And guys, by the way, I'm really sorry if I'm not speaking like perfectly because I'm trying to set up my chat too, because for some reason I can't see my chat. So give me 1 second. I am trying to fix all of this and then we'll get right into the show. And I apologize again for not being good at this yet to have this all set up before I go live. But the truth is I tried to go live and it took me down. This is the second time I try to go live in the last 2 minutes. So give me a second here. Once I set this up, I'll be able to see your chats and then everything will flow a heck of a lot better. I'm almost there. There we go. Okay, there come your chats. Great, perfect. Guys, anyways, I just got done with Andy Footy with the Nedja stream. It was a good stream. We talked about a lot of things, but there were things that I did not get a chance to really express my opinion on. Sean's mic and cam already in use. Ask them to close all apps and tabs and refresh. Sean, it says your mic and camera are in use. You need to, there you go. I'll let you in. Let's see if we can get Sean on here.
Oh my goodness.
You gotta you gotta refresh all apps, bud.
I'm gonna do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Okay, Shant will be back to join me. Got my headphones on so I can hear him, but let's get to what the main topic of the day is. The main topic of the day for me is that we've built this team to fail. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't think that there was enough spent last year for us to succeed. So let me explain exactly what that means before Shant gets in here, and then we'll have a deeper discussion. You guys know that if you know anything about correlation between spend and where you finish in the league, let me let Shant in. If you know anything about the spend and the correlation for where you finish in the league, wages and where you finish in the league, there's a direct correlation to that. I mean, and Shant will probably add on to what I'm saying here. But my point is this, that I don't think we spent enough to improve by 10 spots. If you think about it, we spent just over 200 million. And I'm letting Ed in here too. We spent just over, and I got to change the layout because I don't like this layout when it's 3 people like that. I'd rather have it like that. Oh, good. Let me get Ed in. Hold on. 1 second. Why won't it let? There's Ed. Okay.
I think he's here.
Yeah. So basically what I'm trying to say is we spent just over 200 million and we finished in 15th place. 200 million is not enough to get you in top 4 when you're 15th. You can't improve by 10 or 11 spots spending 200 million, or else every team in the Premier League would start spending 200 million every summer if 200 million directly correlated to 10 spots of improvement. So when people tell me, because I've had this argument with friends of mine, and they'll tell me things like, yeah, but also he's got to improve the squad that he has. Unfortunately, though, he's lost bigger players in the squad than people are giving him credit for. Like he lost Garnacho, Rashford, and I know we don't like them, but they're still big players, big personalities, players who can do things. Whereas now he's having to play academy players that are not ready yet. And let's be real, these academy players are definitely not ready yet. Okay? These academy players aren't They're still cooking. They are not cooked yet. They're raw. And 200 million, and fans are angry that we're in 6th place or 7th place from 15th. Believe me, we're getting more than our money's worth. And that's what I don't think people are understanding. Like, I don't think people are understanding, like, how much is 100 million worth? How many spots? I don't think it gets you much more than 2 or 3 spot improvement. If you finish 10th and you spend 100 million, you should expect to finish somewhere between 8th and 7th. You don't spend 100 million when you finish 10th and expect to finish in the top 5. So you don't finish 15th, spend 200 and start complaining if you're not in the top 4. That's where I'm going with my argument. That's kind of the whole basis of my thesis, if you will, on how the correlation between spend and spots. And then, of course, you have to spend it correctly. You can't just throw 200 million out the window and pretend that that's going to help the team. But if we really wanted to improve from 15th all the way to 4th, like all the fans imagined that we should have spent somewhere close to 500 to 600 million, which was never going to happen. And I think that we underspent. Definitely. We should have probably spent 3 to 320, 340 million last summer, and then spend another 3 this summer. And then we wouldn't need to spend in this January.
I think if we look at it from a money spent like position, I think
Ed, can you hold on to that 1 second? Semix, do me a favor. I'm looking out for you guys in the chat. Semix, when you're on OBS and you have that overlay,
yeah,
if there's any way for you to drag the overlay a little bit more so it extends further, and then make the Riverside source higher so that everyone can be seen, you just basically drag the lower third overlay. What we'll do is just make it so that it's bigger. You can just drag it around, and then for your for the source for Riverside, just push it up a little bit so everyone is in frame. Because I think what's going to happen is anybody that talks and then is pushed to the bottom right, the chat won't be able to see like what they're saying. I'm sorry for the technical. Oh, that's perfect, Semix. If you're just making it like that, that's perfect. I see what you
yeah, that's
did.
Pretty good.
That's
Yeah,
absolutely
that's good.
perfect. Okay, so Ed, go ahead. Didn't mean to hijack, but I was just looking for.
If we're looking at it from a what we spent to what we're getting sort of scenario, I think we're overperforming, to be honest with you. Because then we could go to the whole other side where Liverpool have spent 500 and they're coming off a title defense and they're looking shocking. The only new signing that's actually doing anything is like a TK, right? So you could say they spent money a lot worse than we did, and we're right there with them, right? But I think this is more of a we were sick of the whole, because we had Ole, he finished second, third, you know. He did all this stuff. Ten Hag won an FA Cup, and we still got rid of them. If you want United to go back to the glory days of United, where we're gonna be that top team and people are gonna be scared to play against us, you need to give it time, and you need to, like you said, you need to spend 500 million, right? The whole club, every position needs to have a backup position that's fighting for that position, not just the body, like we have now, where you had 6 academy players on the bench. And the only other starter was Yoro that was sitting on the bench, and your backup keeper by Lendir, right? If they want to be serious in January, they will do whatever it takes to bring in one of our main 3 targets, at least. It has to happen. The other one can come in the summer, yes, and also one more midfielder that's going to be a rotation player, not just a body, but somebody that could actually put in a shift and do the job. If they want Amorim to succeed, let's say if Amorim had Chelsea or United's squad, where do you think he finishes?
If Amorim had Chelsea's squad?
Chelsea or Arsenal, or Arsenal.
I think if he has Chelsea's squad, they're in the title race.
100%.
Not even a chance.
If he had Arsenal's squad, they're right now, they're 6 points clear.
I think if you actually look at the way that team is constructed, I think he wins the league with Arsenal. Genuinely.
Easily, too.
Yeah.
Easily. But he has right now, does not have, like I said before, he has a chessboard with like 90% of them are pawns, and the rest he has a couple rooks. And he's trying to beat somebody that has full chess pieces on the board. It's going to be impossible. as a manager. You put any of those other managers, if you put Arteta in this United team, we're 15th right now.
Guys, players are your weapons of war when we're talking about playing football, right?
Yeah.
And we don't have big guns. We just don't. We have like 1 or 2 big guns, but we're going up against guys in the top 5 who have a lot of great artillery. And they've built that artillery up, and then they went last summer when they already had good weapons and even bought more weapons, right? Like you had the Liverpools who's like spent an amount that you would think, dude, you just won the league. Why are you spending like you finished 5th? You get what I'm saying? Like
They spent like Real Madrid. Let's be honest. They spent like Real Madrid.
yeah. So the fact that there's a narrative out there that could even suggest that this manager is failing with what he has. Honestly, I'm sitting here going like, thankfully we're not 10th or 9th. 200 million is not in. That's what I need everybody. Some people just joined the stream a little bit late. What I was saying at the beginning of the stream is 200 million is not enough to buy you 10 positions on the table. It's not enough to go from 15th to 5th with 200 million spent. I doubt if we look into history of the Premier League, if anyone's ever spent 200 million and improved by 10 spots in one summer.
Nottingham Forest, they did.
With 200 or more?
They spent like 150 and they jumped to what they finished like
that,
6th.
and that was so we also have to take into consideration the placing of where Nottingham Forest are as a club and the expectation of where United are as a club, because 200 million for us, that doesn't take into account the United tax. It doesn't take into account the transition from whatever team they're going in. So I mean, but you're absolutely right.
How many players?
You're completely right though in saying that 200 million doesn't really get you anything. How many players would that get you? Do you think, Semix, for to get to be a needle mover? What would 200 million get you?
I mean, what we've seen so far is that we have to spend a minimum of 60 to 70 million to get someone who can crack into the starting 11. Anybody else is a project buy, like a Dorgu. That's a project. That's not.
And can I be real with you? Even the 60 million players that we've spent for Šeško, Cunha, they're not providing
they're not the
needle. They're not the finished article. They are an improvement, I believe, but they're not the finished article. So I think you guys make really, really solid points with regards to where we estimate this certain squad is right now, the expectation put on the management, and kind of having to redirect and understand, how did we get here in the first place, guys? What were the outstanding things that need to be done by INEOS that they did not do? And all throughout this time, I've been a ardent supporter of just kind of letting the pages of the book be written before I call it an end of the book. Let the chapters, develop. But there's more and more decisions that I look in retrospect that I think, man, it seems as though we don't have a coherent strategy. Nelson, I think you read some of the things that I was saying earlier in Discord. And by the way, we have 40 people live in the stream right now, unannounced stream. Go hit that like button because we love Semix, we love Nelson, we love Head. I really appreciate you doing this for us. But yeah, back to what I was getting on about. The targets that we've gone for from a center forward perspective, from a wingback perspective, I'm not even talking about just like the age and profile. Just the way they play are so different. You have a flat track bully and just a pressing monster in Delap, which by all means was a market opportunity. I didn't hear anything with regards to having somebody that would be an out and out number 9 in front of him. I think part of the main selling point that United had were, you're going to be the guy to lead the line. So of course you're going to come to us, right? You're from Ipswich. He said, you know what? Club World Cup changes things and I like Chelsea better. Fine. Thank God for that.
Yeah.
So then we go to Gyökeres, we go to Ollie Watkins, we have Šeško. And despite everything I've heard with regards to internally how Šeško was viewed, because obviously if people have heard me enough, unfortunate for you guys, I am a big Šeško fan, but I can also admit that he's been a bit underwhelming. But I still think long term, he's got a pretty big ceiling if he gets there. So internally, they're saying Šeško was number 1 on our list the year prior. And why did we emote so much for Gyökeres? Why did we emote so much for Watkins? Amram needed Osimhen.
That's another thing. We actually did call Osimhen's people, and the deal was so expensive that they went, "We're not going to do this." Then they.
But those conversations were had. So yeah. It's not as if we had a track 1, track 2, track 3. It had a desperate feeling in the air. And I think that's something that we need to tell ourselves, okay, as much as these guys are professionals, they make so much qualitative analysis, they bring in the best in class. It seems as though there wasn't a clear hierarchy determined by INEOS as recent as this past summer window. Because when we're looking at who they're targeting, even the Mbumo signing, and in retrospect, I love Mbumo. I think he's just a fantastic player. The profile, what he did at Brentford was great. And even the statement of intent, getting him over certain rivals. Well, we had already signed Cunha. And when you sign a 10 of that magnitude, you need to, in my opinion, and you guys can feel free to disagree with me, I think we had bigger gaping holes in the squad. And this is off of De Ligt's performances last year. This is off of all of our instability in the back line as well. We needed that midfielder, at least one. And
Yeah,
we
let me
needed
tell you,
somebody.
when we went for Mbumo, my brain went, oh my God, we're getting more players than I thought this summer. Like, I didn't think, oh, Mbumo's a bad signing. I just thought, oh, for sure they're going to get midfielders in too, right? I didn't think I was like, oh my God, I'm so behind INEOS. Like, we're getting two forwards.
Let them cook. They're doing
Right,
something,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But here's also the thing. We spent 200 million and shot up in the XG table like crazy.
Which is what you get for 200 million in attack. You should have better XG
Correct.
than what
And
we were.
I
Fine.
think who we
Right,
brought
and now
in.
we need 200 million in midfield and defense.
Correct. But I think who we brought in, they were all the right targets. A 22-year-old phenom that loves football, that doesn't have any off the field issues, that trains really hard, that wants to be the best at 22 years old for 70 million is a steal in my book. People are like, well, he's not scoring. He should have scored that header, yes, in the game against Wolves, the one where he headed it to ground and he knew it. He went and kicked the post right after. That should have been a 100% goal, right? Let the kid adapt. Let these players adapt. For what we have and how little time they spent with each other, right? We've had, 19 games? Šeško's played in 13 of them.
We're halfway
only.
through,
Right?
And a full 90s, only, 7 or 8?
Yes.
But can we go back to the profile discussion? Because this is actually something I've wanted to have an actual conversation on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm with you guys on Mbumo. I didn't understand why we went for Mbumo, even though he's been clearly our best signing.
Yeah.
If you look at his profile, he actually played in his last season. He played as a inside forward kind of thing.
Yeah.
And we clearly needed 10s. So when I thought Cunha was going to be a sure win. He was of the two. I was like, if we're going to play 3-4-2-1, it's going to be clear that it's Cunha. I thought we were going to get maybe like a Lookman or someone else who'd played in a 3-4-2-1 as a 10. And the fact that we went from Mbumo, I was like, oh, okay, cool. The striker profile, that's what started. I started having concerns because the way Gyökeres plays, Osimhen plays, Watkins plays, and Šeško are all different profiles. Every single one of them.
Even Delap. And
Even
that was
Delap.
our primary one. Yeah.
Yeah. But all 5 of them, the only thing that's similar about them is just the physical profiles. They're all physical players, but how they play is completely different. And that was, I don't know if you saw, I had a conversation with Andy. I think, Sean, you were there. And I said, how confident are you guys about INEOS? Because I started worrying about the profiles we're looking for. Ed and I are on the same page. Anderson should be our number 1 target. Nobody else. If he goes to another team, sure, at least we know who we're targeting. Second for me after that is Edison. Third is Wharton. In that order. And if I don't hear us going for those kinds of players, or if we don't get any of those 3, I'd be interested to see who the 4th midfielder is. Because I have a feeling it's going to be someone like left field. A complete left field shot.
Can I acknowledge what's going on in the chat though, real quick?
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for Hidden Epochs for subscribing, and Nightwing coming through with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Nightwing, man. Happy New Year. Thank you so much.
Happy New Year's, Ray. Thank you, man.
And
we love
everybody
you,
in the chat who just got a gifted membership from Nightwing, please let Nightwing know you appreciate it. W's in the chat for Nightwing. Thank you so much, man. Happy New Year, Nightwing. Thank you.
Happy New Year, Nightwing, Mr. Ray.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. No, but Semix, I want to ask you, and Nelson, you're his agent. You're not even thinking of Baleba? Come on, man. He's got to be good.
Baleba's good. But
He's good.
of the four midfielders, I think I would take the first three. Baleba should not be on number one, in my opinion. I've been watching him in AFCON. He's still not looking like any better. Like honestly, he looks good, but come on, you should be
today,
the Ivory Coast game.
today he was awful.
Yeah,
Really?
He was terrible against a terrible midfield. I think he is he's a Ugarte light switch type player. I'm gonna be honest, but he has the ceiling. He has the ceiling.
Yeah.
If he
I
could
would
get the
take him-
consistency down.
I take him right now.
But you don't take him.
yeah.
You can't take him as a number one. I'm talking about
no.
100 plus million player. Elliot Anderson is the only player that will come in and actually make us better right away. Boom, start ticking right away. Baleba will make us better in the future, yes.
correct.
But Anderson will do that right now and in the future.
Totally.
He is going to be your mainstay, United captain in 3 years type player.
Yeah.
I think
Hey, Ewan, I'm sorry. I'm just getting a little bit of feedback on your side. Is there... do you
hold
have
on,
it
I'll
through
cancel
speakers?
Ayun's echo. I have echo cancellation on
You
my...
have it on? Okay.
Oh no, actually Ayun, you have to turn it on. You can turn on your own echo cancellation and we won't hear it. On the Riverside app. There should be
Testing. Can you guys hear? We're good. Okay. Just a little bit there. It's fine. Sorry. I just.
but you were asking me a question, Sean. What was it?
So I wanted to say, okay, based on how we've surmised that 200 is just nowhere near to get us up those levels. We always have this recurring discussion of where we would put that money in. Would it be a center defense? Would it be center mid? If I think I know you well enough, you've been clamoring for at least two. Let's say you can only get one main target, and then you got to get some auxiliary targets. Who would those guys be in the center mid that you think gettable in January, and that'll get us right into Champions League so that we can go for some real talent?
Gettable in January is the caveat here, and I'm gonna go with Joao Gomes. Ayun, man, you're really loud, bro.
Your mic is really loud, dude.
I had to mute you here for a second. Figure that out, and then I'll let you back in. But what's it called? Joao Gomes for me is someone who is what do you call it? Is available in January, from what I know, right? So because you said available in January is why I'm saying Joao Gomes.
Okay.
If it was just open, I can pick whoever I want. That's
There'd
not
be
the name I
more.
would say, right?
Okay, good. Okay.
But you said guaranteed available in January. I think that guy comes in with bite. I think he comes in like ready to fight in the middle of the pitch, which we don't have enough of, and he's 2 steps quicker than both Ugarte and Casemiro, and I trust his passing ability more than I trust Ugarte's.
But did you? How did you like him in the last game when we played them?
No, I think he's overwhelmed in that squad. Like without Andre next to him, he's not the same.
I think Andre was a bigger miss for that
Andre
team.
was a big
Mane,
miss for them.
Like,
Mane
18-year-old played the
well,
best.
bro. Yeah,
He
Mane
played
was
the
a
best in
better
the
player.
midfield.
Yeah,
But you saw that because Mane was everywhere, whereas
Yeah.
Andre sits back a little and lets Joao do that. Do you get what I'm saying? Whereas Joao was trying to do what Andre does, and it doesn't work.
So
But you don't
here-
replace. Sorry, one more. If you bring him in, then you let him go forward. Who's sitting in the back still? Casemiro?
No, that's where the third center back has to step
Yeah.
forward. That's what I always say about like Amram's system. Like I don't think that someone needs to sit in the back. You need 2 midfielders that are going to cover a hell of a lot of ground. And then if someone needs to sit in the back because they have one player out there, that's one of your center backs is picking that guy up. That's why you have
That
3.
weren't you a little bit taken aback? I kept telling everyone he's going to go back to the 3-4-3. And when I saw the team set
God,
up,
I was so
guess
upset
what?
about that.
guess what? I was shocked that he went to it, even though I predicted it. I'm not even saying I don't care right or wrong, because when I looked at that setup, I thought, oh, maybe he's going to have Martinez be that deep lying progressor, that type of person that goes into the midfield. And I said, okay, when I see it's a 3-4-3, guess what? He's now going to do that because he had some practice in the game prior to that. But then when I saw the way that we were playing, oh my goodness, we have such a confidence issue when it comes to playing against
Horrible.
low block.
Can I
Go ahead.
Can I tell you my 2 cents here?
Yeah.
Number one, I think that after seeing what he saw at the end of the Newcastle game, the last half of the Newcastle game, you get a smart manager like Ruben Amorim sitting in an office, watching that game over and over again, and thinking, how am I going to solve this problem? So he tinkered a little too much and went back to the 3-4-3, thinking that's going to solve some of his issues. Unfortunately, every smart manager does that. Sometimes Pep Guardiola over tinkers. Sir Alex Ferguson used to over tinker some games where you just go, "What? Why did you mess with it? Just leave it alone. Like why change people?" That's what smart managers do. They see problems and they can't help but want to solve problems, even if there's no solution to that problem, and then you end up causing bigger problems, right? You should have just live with the problem that you have, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, and bro, in my own job, I'm guilty of that all the time because you always think you can solve something. You never just sit there and go, well, if that's the only problem, I guess I'm gonna have
It's
to
like
live
an
with it.
engineer. An engineer will think of a solution, totally over engineer it. Sometimes when you look at what just the necessary requirement from a user level, and for us in this instance, just get the win against freaking the worst team in the league. You didn't need to do that. So I think we can admit that this is one of the first games this season where we can just objectively say, yeah, Amram did that wrong.
For sure, and
did
he
that.
knows that.
And that's okay. You know
And he
what?
knows
That's,
that. He
that's
does,
totally
for sure.
okay to have that.
Yeah.
I think part of this unfortunate outcome of there being such a divisive online opinion on the management is that whenever someone makes a mistake, people say this is so damning. He only makes a mistake. Then you get the skulls and everything saying he's not a United manager. He doesn't have this type of mentality. But when you really look at it, it's like there's nobody in world football that can get a tune out of those players to become even higher than fifth or fourth. And if they are, I don't believe what that outcome would be from a results perspective would be enough to catapult us into title contending. Now, you could say for short term, maybe you could get more points out of certain situations, get us into the Champions League. But then you got to hark back to what Ruben said. If I had changed when the pressure was on me, I would have lost the confidence of all my players.
Yep.
And once you do that, you're done. So I think there's something to be said about belief in what the person ahead of you is telling. And of course, you guys have much more experience from a playing level and from a management level than I do. But I totally ascribe to that type of philosophy because the moment you lose confidence or faith in anything, you're not putting your full effort into it.
So I want to go back to yesterday's game a little bit and say I think it was an impossible task for the manager. It's like an NFL team not having a quarterback. You're never going to win a game without a quarterback. And yesterday, we did not have a quarterback if I want to mix the two sports. Anybody that could progress the ball. We had two midfielders that were just there to be midfielders. And then, there was just no clear definition of ball carrying or any of that.
Yeah.
Cunha couldn't do his thing. They were surrounding him. Why? Because there's no other threats. Benjamin Šeško's running around trying to do everything he can. Dorgu is trying to, get down that wing and try to beat a man and get a ball in. I just think that midfield is where we lost the game before the game even started.
That the one thing that disrupts all opposing teams and managers is anyone who can freaking carry the ball up the middle. If you have a player who can actually penetrate through the center of midfield without passing, so he can actually carry through the middle like a Neymar could, like Cunha can, like Baleba does in his best days, that throws the opposing team apart because now everyone's scrambling from everywhere to come cover for the players he just passed up, if you will. The fact that Cunha does that so well, so many times per game, and then doesn't release the ball to where the help is coming from. Like, this is any sport, any basketball, any sport. When the help comes, that means that your teammate on that side is wide open. Right? Wherever the help came from.
Overload.
After he penetrates through the midfield and he takes two players out of the game, help is coming. And then he doesn't pass in that direction that help is coming from. It drives me nuts. It drives me. It's like, it's so simple and fundamental that it's just.
The issue I had with that game isn't like, because I understand the midfield problem, but I thought we were just going to bypass the midfield and use the width. In the same way we played against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Like Newcastle, we just used width. We didn't even care about the midfield.
But who was spraying the ball out there? It was Mason Mount.
It was Mount. True.
Yeah,
100%.
when Casemiro and Ugarte, we even in this more forgiving 3-4-2-1 where the width is already provided there, they were even misplacing passes there. You saw some grass cutters, and I was like, dude, Ugarte, please, not more of this. But I just want to ask, okay, so we've done, I think, a pretty decent descriptive analysis of how there were certain misprofiles in the team setup. What do you think going forward is Ruben's takeaways, and provided he gets a couple players back, do you think that against a team like Leeds that's not going to be so low block that he's going to continue to do the 3-4-2? Because I believe he's going to stick to it. I truly do.
So. I think the 4-2-3-1 is probably his best bet, unless Mount or Bruno's back. If they're back, we can switch back.
Yeah,
we can't play the 3-4-2-1 anymore.
I can see that. I can totally. I can see that. Without Mount and Bruno, if he goes to 3-4-2-1 again against Leeds, I'm going to be scared for his job. Like for
Amarim literally said this. He actually noticed this, which I found interesting that he never tried to switch the system. He said he thought if we go 1v1, like player by player, we were a better team than Wolves, which I agree with. But then I think one of the things he kind of he didn't look at how good Mane was. Matthias Mane was so good. He was so good.
But who would have predicted how good he was going to? Like I wasn't worried about him. Right?
I didn't even know who he was.
And Nelson, at risk of sounding too like reductionist, I don't think Mane won them that game. I don't think he was that good. I think it was more so our players didn't understand that they would be playing against a low block, and nobody had the balls to beat their man. I mean,
DVO66 came in with the super chat and said Amarim and Xerxes were both bad yesterday.
Fair.
I just want to give that a shout out too. Thank you so much for the super chat. And
that's true.
I do agree. They both made mistakes yesterday.
Yeah. But we can't get into this idea of, is he going to do 3-4-3? Is he going to do 4-2-3-1? He lost with a 3-4-3, therefore he's not going to go back to it. I just think that, okay, Cunha is turning into a bigger issue than what we bargained for in this slump. We were able to say, you know what, he's got the Premier League experience, he's got the knowledge and the know-how to really take a team.
He's got skills you don't find that often. Like it is rare to find someone that can carry the ball like that against 2 or 3 defenders. Like it's not an easy thing to do.
I want to put a pause on just being wax lyrical on that ability, because that can turn into a big negative with the type of releasing that he's demonstrated right now.
Correct.
And it's like when you have a player and you're playing 5-a-side and he thinks he's all of a sudden Neymar and Hazard, but he's not. That's what we're getting at Acuna. And I think when he's not understanding the pressure that it takes to be at United, you need to establish. So this isn't a Wolves scenario. You're at a club with a bunch of players that are at a higher level. And every time you stifle the attack, the confidence gets lower. The pressure becomes heavier. Old Trafford's boos become more harrowing.
Sean, I've got a question. I've got a question for you. Don't you think the team we played against, Wolves, was genuinely a Wolves situation where he looked around and went, I need to carry this team, like at least win the game?
I'll be honest. If you went player for player, no.
I agree. Actually.
That's where I say, you know what? Just like you said, Semix, he tinkered too much.
Yeah.
He did not look at this as I have trust in my players. And then in doing so, you have certain Mourinho-isms that come out when it says, look at the board. Look, this is what I've got. That's how I thought the academy was. I think even prior to the game, when we heard a lot of murmurs on X saying, Sekou Kone's in the squad, everyone's like, oh, thank God. Everyone's talked so much about Sekou Kone. I'm thinking he got punched in the face pretty badly, but whatever. Or Shea Lacey's going to start. That's our Scouse Messi. Phil Foden. Oh my gosh. This is going to be fantastic. Somebody to beat this low block. But then you looked at it and you said, oh, shoot. Those leaks were not correct. Those are from people like Sully Talks, people like Academy Scoop, people that are tapped in. We're not talking about like some random X, accounts. So I'm starting to think to myself, okay, there's a little bit of discordance that could be brewing within the squad. People are maybe estimating that they think they can do more in this situation, and then they're leaking to their family and friends, hey, I'm in the squad or whatever. This could, by the way, I want to do a a disclaimer. This could all be in my head. I've had the
This is a
tinfoil hat.
reach.
I've had to really, I've had to distract myself from this game
But
somehow.
at least the one takeaway is at least we know there's no leakers within the club anymore.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah. I thought they
You know.
leaked.
I
did
think
someone
all
leak the
those are
Koenig thing?
leaks, though, Ed. They're just
Yeah.
incorrect leaks. Like I don't.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
don't
not a
know
leak
about-
then if it's incorrect.
Well, so
We're
that's what I'm
getting the
saying.
wrong information.
Mm.
If it was a leak, it's been found. If it's not, then I'm just on my schizo rant, which you gotta allow me sometimes. It's alive, but this is more so what I'm saying. Okay, even despite taking those players out, I don't think the substitutions were right at all.
Correct.
If you're gonna play Joshua Xerxes, why are you gonna sub him out at the 45th minute?
Yeah.
Why not set up in maybe a 4-4-2? Why not just try to really overload them with the presence of our 6'5", Xerxes is tall, man. He, even
Yeah,
some of those
6'4",
games
yeah.
like Arsenal, like FA Cup against Arsenal, when we were playing long ball to him, he was getting his head up against Gabriel and Saliba. So this is not a completely useless player, but his attitude, and that's what I'm worried about. The sunken heads. I'm just worried that we're kind of in a sunken cost fallacy, and we're kind of retaining players past their own
The due
wishes.
date. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
So,
Kobe wants to go.
so I
Xerxes
can't-
wants to go.
As I said on Footy's Andy's stream earlier, like why keep somebody that doesn't want to be here? By the way, Andy's in the chat. Thank you, Andy, for coming by, stopping by, man. What's up, buddy? But as I was saying on his stream, why keep someone who doesn't want to stay, right? Or even as you were saying, why keep someone past their due date, past their expiration date?
So imagine if they would have let Kobe go, right?
Yeah.
And he never picked up that injury. Right now, we would have been like, "Oh, I wish we would have had Kobe in these games."
I don't think so. I'm not like that. I'm a guy that moves on. Like I'm not the kind of guy who's gonna sit like when Beckham
That's
left.
why we watch. That's why we watch you, though. We watch you for somebody that has that type of mentality. We're talking about what we see on X. Are you kidding me? The Fanboy FC.
Yeah.
Those guys would have gone to the pastures with that. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm definitely not one of those guys. But no, I hear the Kobe shout though, because I do think if he had left, not gotten injured, and played well, the noise would have been 10 times worse. Honestly, specifically in this period, not during the. And let's be clear, the only reason I am so upset on the Wolves game is your shout on Xerxes being benched didn't make sense because the guy who was bringing on is clearly a worse player. He's a youth
That's
academy
only why.
player.
That's
Yeah.
only reason why.
Yeah.
I don't say it as of he wasn't doing his job, because we all can see. I mean, we saw it in the last game. Amram was livid at his pressing ability, and in this game, we saw more. I would say we even saw a worse effort. I think the goal was so flattering to the guy.
True.
So I mean, yeah,
100%.
I mean, actually, the super chat just came in. Basically, is agreeing with you guys. Said, I think he subbed Xerxes out of anger due to his lack of pressing.
Yeah.
Per the commentator, he was angrily screaming at him to press again. I am actually trying to find that part in the game too to use in a video. Like I want to catch a glimpse of video of Amram doing that, yelling at Xerxes. I haven't found it yet because it's so hard. Like I wish I could get the. I've shown Shant this
we gotta
before.
find that dude. There has to be somewhere.
I've
Senex was
shown
telling
sh-
us there's
yeah,
like
go ahead.
tactical view where you can see the whole pitch. Sometimes Peacock for US viewers, they would have that where you can click on it. I would click on that every time because you can see exactly how we're lining up. There's no disambiguation. Is it a 3 at the back, 4 at the back? You can see the whole pitch, and then you can see the managers like running back.
The whole time. The
if you-
whole time.
Remember
know
when we were
that.
watching at Semix, we saw Arteta.
Yeah.
If I was a manager, I would drop kick him. He is so obnoxious on the sideline. He's
Yeah.
literally in the pitch. Yeah,
Yeah,
disgusting. man.
he's annoying. Do
Yeah.
we know if anybody is coming back for the next game in midfield specifically?
We don't
We
know
haven't heard
anything.
anything.
And it's 3 days, right?
That is-
Sunday.
They didn't have time to train.
Yeah.
That's
We don't.
because if we don't have a ball progressor, he will have to change the system.
Yeah.
It-
He has
it
to play at least a
happen.
4-4-2. Like that's because
That's
the
what
only
I'm
yeah,
there too.
those are the 4-2-3-1 can't work because you still
I don't
need the
see
10.
it as a 2, but what do you mean the 4-2-3-1 can't work? Isn't that basically a 4-4-2 with one of the strikers dropping back? Like, what are
but,
you? Like,
but that's my point with both our strikers are not good as a 10. Because I don't think Xerxes is good as a 10. I think Sheshko actually would be a better 10 than Xerxes. Xerxes, I don't know if you watched him during Bologna times. Like because I thought Thiago Motta was going to be the best thing when I watched
272, man.
I was like, what the hell am I seeing? But
Yeah.
even though he played like a second striker, so we're talking about like 4-4-1-1 if we're trying to be really pedantic.
Ultimate team.
Yeah.
Overpowered
Like-
formation ultimate team right now.
Yeah, overpowered.
I just want to thank Mr. Miracle for being a member, man. Thank you for being a real one, dude. Thank you so much. I see you in the chat.
I agree with you though, Nelson. I think he is also a luxury player that when it was on another stream where I said the Italian league is really physical. And what I meant by physical is the center backs are really physical with the strikers, and the midfielders are really physical with each other. It's not as fast.
Dude, wasn't that the stream you asked for Sergio Ramos?
Yes. Bring me Sergio Ramos, or bring me a Bilbao butcher into the club.
Oh,
Ed,
you
do
know
that
who we
Ramos
need.
is supposedly going to Nice.
Is he really?
Yeah. I saw that Nice apparently are looking at getting Ramos in.
Golly. Listen,
So INEOS is listening to you.
I'm actually not worried about our center back situation, to be honest with you.
Me too.
I'm not
Yeah, me
worried
either.
about our center back situation.
Me either.
Especially-
Aiden Heaven's coming good, man.
I called for Euro to come in at halftime.
Yeah.
And when he came in, he did well. He spread
Looks
the pitch.
so much better. Looks so much
He
better.
gave
man.
us so much. He gave us a lot. He should have. That's where Amarim made a mistake. I think Amarim should have lined up with Martinez, Heaven, and Euro.
Andy
and
coming in with the
Dorgu.
super chat, Footy with an Edge. Thank you so much, man. Happy New Year to you too, bud.
Happy New Year's, Andy.
I hope you get some rest and some sleep so you can keep doing what you're doing. All of us love it. We're all tuning in every day. Thanks a lot for everything you do for us, man, to keeping the content alive and just working hard. Guys, I know Andy personally, and I'm telling you guys right now, is one of the hardest working people I've seen in this space. I mean, this guy literally gets off a stream and already starts working on the next one and the next one and the next video. I live in California, and sometimes we end up talking. It's like midnight, 1 o'clock my time. It's like 4 a.m. his time, and he's still editing a video to get it up for you guys, dude. So I appreciate everything he does. So the best thing you guys can do for a guy like Andy who's working his tail end off for you guys is anytime you have hype points available, throw them up on his video. Make sure you're clicking the like when you're watching his videos. Those little things really help us content creators like grow our channels, man.
And I just want to also give a shout out to the people typing in the chat, like Ryan. He says Sesko and Cunha up top, no mount behind is rough times. Yeah, as you saw in the last game, there's just nobody to link them up because they're not going to link up with each other because you got a guy that actually passes the ball in Sesko, and then you have a guy in Cunha who will never pass the ball unless one of the defenders tackles it from behind him and it ends up at Sesko's feet, right? But if Amarim would have lined up with the 3-back of Euro and Martinez and Heaven and played Dorgu at the right 10, right? And played Luke Shaw at the left wing
as
back.
a left wing back, yep.
We would have had way more success in
I
Do you
that
think
game.
Luke Shaw can last more than 35 minutes as a left
No,
wing
you
back?
give him
Not
you,
not
don't
as
want him
not
to
as the
go forward.
attacking one.
yeah,
Not
no,
as
not,
the attacking
but
one.
it's okay. He could give you a half. You could get your 2 goals, and then you could sub in Malacia
No, you could even bring in
Malacia.
Montato.
or
Because
Montato.
Montato technically
Brother,
played as
I
a
don't want to see
fullback.
Montato. That guy's not ready.
Yeah,
The
but
kid-
he's not a
like
winger.
he might be good, but he's so raw, dude. He's not
Yeah,
ready.
he's just
Like,
too raw.
Every
I
move
agree
he
with
made
you.
was bad.
But
Like,
protecting a 2-goal lead,
Yeah.
you could play those players in there as bodies. Tyler Fletcher would have been fine if we were up 2-0 doing the sideways passes. It would have been fine.
Can I posit something to the panel?
Hmm.
So, seeing as though Ugarte has been in and out of the squad a lot, and I think we all know the reasons why, but he's not the sitter, he's not the anchor. I think part of the progression could perhaps be shared with Licha maybe in the midfield, and then having Aiden and Euro as your center back pairing, and then putting Luke Shaw out at left back, and then having Dalot at right back, and then you could have Dorgu as a right mid, Cunha as a left 10, and then you could play Xerxes and Cheshko. To me, that would match up a lot better. You'd still have the solidity because you'd have a progressor and Shaw tucked in as a fullback as the left back, and you'd still have that interplay between Dorgu coming in on the right flank. I think that is a pretty good setup if we were to try that at Ellen Road, because I don't think they could deal with the physicality.
The only issue with that is we miss Lisandro's defensive reading when he goes further
100%.
up. And if you drop him down, if you put him up, it's clear both Heaven and Euro don't seem to have that chemistry yet. It'll build over time, but I don't think it's there yet.
But my only issue with that, Nelson, is that I would rather so Casemiro doesn't have the discipline to be a sitter anchor. He's now just a shuttler when he wants to progress the ball. And Ugarte is just the same thing, a shuttler with no passing range. We've seen that does not work because they aren't good ones at that. So then I'm kind of at a loss because I don't know who else that's a good connector, that's a good ball progressor in the club. That, I mean, Leach's passing ability is amazing. He is kind of like a Swiss Army knife, the Daily Blind, so to say, of our club at the moment. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe doing something ingenious like that might be a way to have the balance just a little bit better.
But
Sean, do you need to? Oh, go on, Ed. Go on.
Oh no, you go ahead. You go ahead, Nelson. Sorry, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say that if you go and rewatch that game, and I think you'll change your mind on Casemiro. Casemiro made 2 key passes that game that I didn't see, or maybe I was so pissed off the first time I watched the game. He made a pass to Dallo for some reason, who was the highest guy on the pitch, and then he also made a pass to Sheshko.
So Nelson, I agree with you. He does have the range. He does have the Hollywood ball in him. But my issue is, in a game where you don't have a designated distributor and progressor, he has this box crashing tendency where he just finds himself in the final third. And then when your only anchor or sitter is Ugarte, he's not. He's a ground eating center mid, just goes into duels, smashes in. Like that to me is just, you need somebody that is so disciplined, that has that foresight of saying, hey, I know what it takes to be a center back that goes into the midfield, but then just stays in that pocket of area. I'm not talking like a Rodri where you're going to have a lion's share of possession and he's going to be in the center defense or in the final third. We need somebody that's really like an auxiliary center back as a center defensive mid. And that's why I think that could be something that he could explore.
You're saying play Martinez the same way Nico Gonzalez plays for Man City.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bingo.
That's you know.
But Amram already said Martinez is not a midfielder though.
He did say that.
He did say that.
And
I don't think we could play in a 4-4-2 because of Case Myro. I don't think he could play as a center mid. It will get exposed way too much.
No.
In my opinion.
Yeah, I agree there.
Yeah.
He'll give you 35 minutes.
Dude,
max.
that's what I'm saying. This is so hard. Like, I'm listening to you guys talk, and I usually
it's a tough scenario. No,
I love to get involved in these kind of discussions, and I'm just sitting there going like, I agree, but I don't agree. I agree, but I don't agree, because it's like, dude, no, like I don't. And here's the problem: we're a big club, supposedly, the most valuable club in the Premier League,
England. Yeah,
and we have this problem. Like, it shouldn't even be a problem. This is on our owners. This is on the guys in charge. This is on them to start acting like they own the biggest club in England. Yeah. Like, because I don't think they act like it. They act like they're owning a club that's barely surviving, and it's not true. And people can come in here and tell me in the chat how much debt we have. I don't care. I don't like I care so little. Sell something then. Sell something.
Sell a patch of land.
I don't care what you need to sell. Sell something. You know what I mean? Like, don't come crying about like, I don't have enough money. You have plenty. You have plenty. And from what I heard in the last week in an article I read is that we had 85 million in cash. No, sorry. 85 million in revolving credit and 65 million in cash, something like that. That's plenty.
When is the Hoyland money coming in? Is it in January?
Summer.
In the summer?
And that's the other thing. You already know you have Rashford money, Hoyland money. Like, you've got money coming in.
Barcelona money. Barcelona is paying in Monopoly money, brother.
No, it will be coming in, dude. It will.
I
be
hope
coming
so.
In.
Yeah,
it won't be much. It'll be 20 million euros.
Even that, brother, I don't think they're just so.
We're gonna get 200,000 Spotify premium subscription cards. That's what we're gonna get from Barcelona.
And what a family plan for all of us.
If you do have one of those 200,000 Spotify subscriptions, guys, the Three Devils podcast is on Spotify, so make sure you're checking that out.
Nicely done. How was the podcast? I'm very intrigued to see the podcast because I like it when, I do enjoy when we're in a good run of form, but sometimes like my consumption cycle I go directly to X. I look at Discord. I see so much people, so much division. It's hard to really maintain like an even keeled approach to this club.
It's
Because
so
otherwise,
it's so negative and toxic. And guys, like, I'm being real, and when I'm being real, sometimes I feel like I'm being negative. But honestly, this is it's not even negative compared to what I'm seeing on X. On X, it's like real negativity, real toxicity. And from my point of view, or from our point of view, it's kind of more like negative with hope. It's negative as in like, here's where we are. How do we fix it? As opposed to over there, it's everything sucks. Everyone needs to get, you know, no one knows what they're doing. Everyone's the worst manager ever. Guys, we've sacked manager after manager. Just once, I'd like to back one. Just once. Like, honestly, I can't think of a manager that's been back since Sir Alex Ferguson. And honestly, that's a crime, bro. Like, how do you run a business and never give your staff the tools they need to succeed for this long?
bad owners. Plain and simple, bad owners.
Correct.
When you're taking dividend money. Yeah.
But now we have a new board, a new infrastructure. I'd like to see that fruition into a new way of running business.
And don't remember, guys, when INEOS bought their share, they said for 3 years there's no dividends being pulled out of the club. Yeah. And the next year, so 2027, I think is when the dividend starts coming back. So we literally have 1 year before the Glazers start going.
We're at critical mass.
I actually was thinking about that. I was thinking about that the other day. I want to say something on that too, but first I'd like to acknowledge Ryan Phelan, who just came in with a super chat. Happy New Year, man. Thank you so much. I see your comments in every single video I post. Sometimes Ryan will write a whole entire novel in the comments. I appreciate it, man. I read them all the time. Thank you so much. He's been a fan since the 80s. INEOS are bad venture capitalists, not sportsmen, in my opinion. Which is basically what we're hoping they change that opinion of themselves this January. Because to be honest with you, if they don't do anything this January, guys like Ryan are there's going to be more of that narrative going around, and I might even be one of them. I'm just saying right now.
I'm going to tell you right now, I am one of them. I am like Ryan, because I've been very consistent on this. I haven't trusted INEOS from day one. And the reason I don't trust INEOS is clear and simple. Just look at people's track records. Don't tell me how about the future. I can only forecast from your past, not from whatever you tell me. So when I look at them and I look at every single thing they've done in every single club they've been in, is they first try something, and then once it fails, they backpedal the heck out of it. I saw that at Nice. I watched Liga. My stupid friend, shout out Tuffy, if you're there. He's a Liga massive fan. I work for a Quebec company, so we have a lot of French people in our company. We've got Nice fans, Marseille.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man, it's tough. So I've been watching Liga for a long time, and I remember when INEOS bought Nice, guys were excited. Yeah. People were so excited that finally someone with money's coming in, and they were going to invest in them. And the speed in which Nice fans have wanted them out, I'm like, I really don't want these guys to buy Manchester United.
When I first started my channel and INEOS was bidding, I had people from France, literally Nice fans, texting, like sending me messages on X, sending me comments, telling me, you don't want this. You don't want this. Yeah,
but we check Jusim to come in, baby.
Wait.
I let somebody in the room named Andy. I hope it's actual Andy that I know.
It sounds like him.
Sounds like him.
Wait. I'm joining from my phone. I'm experiencing this quality experience here, this UI experience. This looks awful, by the way. But anyways, I'm blaming Riverside, not from you guys. I'm blaming Riverside.
He's talking about his phone Riverside app, guys. Not.
Yes, no. This stream is great. I just gave you $15, bro. I wouldn't do that if this wasn't a great stream. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna put that into the January fund to get somebody in.
Yeah, exactly. Put it towards January. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Nelson, do you get free Uber Eats, bro, with that many League One fans? Like, what's going on?
I actually have a code for them, but yeah.
Nice. Yeah, well, I mean, look, listen, man. I'm hearing way too much sense, specifically from Ed. I'm not appreciating how reckless he is not being right now. I want to see him
I
being
said the
more
same
reckless.
thing. I said the same thing in your stream.
No, I'm saying I want you to be more reckless, bro, because that's what I'm here to watch. Like I
Well,
enjoy it. That's what I'm
I don't have the same clowns in this chat that are in your chat.
Well,
there it is. There's your
that's
recklessness.
that's what you get. That listen. We attract all types of fans, and I'm telling you,
True.
Semix associates himself with me long enough. Those clowns are gonna follow him here. Okay.
I called him Semtex. Come on. But I think, to be honest with you guys, yesterday's draw hurt, but people are jumping way too far ahead of Amarim out, because then we start fresh again with the same players. It is the board, it is INEOS, it is the Glazers, and it's been the Glazers for the last 10 years that have been the problem at the club. And that a manager will not change the fortunes of this club. Only the club will change the fortunes of the club.
I mean, it's been longer than that. The Glazers have been screwing up since they purchased the club, right? I mean, it's the last 20 years of the Glazers just screwing up consistently. And I'll be honest, like anyone with a brain, right? Like I refuse to believe that Gary Neville's just a simple idiot that, speaks with his heart on his sleeve, etc. Anyone with a simple brain realizes that sacking the manager just hits the reset button on any project, on any progress that any club tries to make. That's why Carragher defends Slot. I don't think he likes Slot. I think he knows that we can't reset this project after a manager's already won the league with them. So it's a very simple thing. So all of our legends, all of whether it's Goldbridge or any other YouTube channel that's calling for him to be sacked, either they're just dumb and don't get it, or they have an agenda and they just don't want to be honest about the agenda.
But here's what I don't like. Paul Scholes, okay, said, "This is not the United that I played at." Listen, brother, you were surrounded by the best player in every position on the pitch. Played for United at that time. You cannot say, "Oh, they need to play like we played back then." It's not the same form of football. It is not even remotely close to the same atmosphere. The money is way different in football now. And you can't just go out and be like, "Well, they don't play like we used to play." Shut the hell up, toe sucker. I don't want to hear from that guy anymore.
There we go. There we go.
How about you step back on
By
the
the
pitch?
by the way, can I just defend Nice for 1 second? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the 2021-2022 squad. I'm just going to name some names for you.
Yeah.
And maybe they were cooking. They had Amin Gouiri, Jean-Claire Todibo, Casper Dolberg, Kefren Turam, Justin
Okay.
Kluivert, Youssef Attal, 5-star FIFA, Walter
Hey.
Benitez. Listen, man, Mario Lamina. They had Dante. They had so many good players on that squad. If you actually,
Insane players.
those are
Yeah,
like
but
streets won't forget players.
You know the biggest mistake they made at Nice was not letting a manager like have
Hold
time.
on, Sean. You could even say that was a nice squad.
Oh,
Is
okay.
that-
There we go.
Oh.
In case
Oh.
you forgot, Andy was Canadian.
In my opinion, the biggest mistake INEOS made in Nice was not giving the good managers time. Don't get me wrong; they had a couple bad managers, but they had a couple really good ones. One of them I admire to this day, and I still watch. I watch Porto play because of Farioli. Like I really
Farioli's
like
so
the things
good.
that he does.
Mhm.
How about Will Still, my boy?
Oh my days. Just because
Bring him in. You guys want chaos? We want to get rid of Amarim? Bring in Will Still. Do it then. That's the only manager I'll take over Amarim. And for not good reasons, by the way.
And explain why you like Will
No,
Still.
this is not some. There is no substantiation to this shout.
It's
This
the
is just a shout for shout's
most
sake.
head lasso British dude I've ever seen.
Listen, if we want chaos on the pitch that we can't
Oh.
control, we will bring in Will Still and we will create chaos at Old Trafford. We will go to the non-Stretford end. That's what I call it.
Okay.
We're gonna bring back the hooligans, bro. Like we're gonna bring the sporting ultras back to United and just beat up the players.
Exactly. So anybody that thinks a manager can change their fortunes is... Listen, Amarim has dealt with the media perfectly, in my opinion. Has he made mistakes? Yes. Every manager has made mistakes. Look at what's happening to Maresca right now. Maresca's not a bad manager at all whatsoever. He protects his players too. And he's taking the brunt of everything that's happening while his Liam Delaps are underperforming, while his Joao Pedros are walking around and just trying to look like models on the pitch. We're not
and
here.
Apparently Crook has said, I don't know how much you guys value Crook's
Crookie's okay sometimes.
Yeah, he's already said that Maresca is actually
interesting last name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I'm not saying I agree with what he said. Sometimes his sources are good. I think he's a melt, to be honest.
But no, he said his sources have said that Maresca's on his last
sounds like it.
Yeah.
And hey, that
wait, because Chelsea's gonna sack him or he wants to walk?
Chelsea's gonna sack him. They're gonna sack him.
I'm not surprised though. All this glazing of another bald manager, bro. What's wrong with having hair? Like, I don't get this.
Well, listen, Blue Co should never exist because they're allowed to spend however they want. We tried to do it, they didn't let us do it. Big bullshit. They could go ahead and keep signing these players that are not proven for 9-year contracts all they want, brother. New York Knicks style, pay Latrell Sprewell 20 years after he's out of the league. Go ahead and do that, Chelsea, all you want.
Can we thank Chelsea for signing Alejandro Garnacho?
Oh yeah,
brother.
The best
brother.
for us.
The fact that we got more than 10 million for that Eminem wannabe with less talent than Eminem is crazy.
Bro, respect on Eminem's name. Why are we even comparing him to Eminem?
Please don't say Eminem and Garnacho in the same sentence. I want to bring out, I want to show some credit to Ernest Wright, who came in with a super chat for £5, saying, only at my club that for us to win a match, the manager has to be perfect at everything, from setup to sub to timing of the sub and player selection. And to be honest with you, there's a deep meaning behind that super chat, in my opinion, that actually does ring a lot of true things. Ruben Amorim, with the squad that we have, can't afford to make a single mistake or we don't win. Everything actually, he can also do everything perfectly and we end up with a draw instead of a win.
Yeah. That's true.
Bro, also with the fan base reactions, it's like this man can't make a substitution wrong, and every other manager, apparently, all 19 other managers make 5 perfect substitutions every game. You know, that's the nonsense. Yeah. That's the nonsense I always hear.
Well, I think this is just the weight of being the most important club in the league and in England and potentially in the world when you talk about the global impact.
No, it is for the English speakers. It's the biggest club in the world because Madrid and Barcelona have like the Spanish fans and all that around the world, right? Of which there are many, but the English-speaking biggest followed club is United, bro. The Semix just made a video about like the net worths that came out of all the clubs, right?
Yeah.
And United are still at top, even though we've been ass for 12 years.
And even on top of that, United were the most important club during the most important time of the proliferation of the sport from an audience level.
100%.
And that was in the Premier League. Yep. So they could. Cristiano came from us. He wasn't cultivated just in Madeira. He had one of the best seasons I've ever seen in my life. One of the most seminal points. So I mean, I understand that United causes clicks. They're the biggest hit you're going to have if you're an online newspaper. But at the end of the day, we have a duty to ourselves to just remember it's just sports, guys. Time to touch grass.
Guys, can I just say another thing I'm happy for in 2025? Watching Unai Emery just lose his mind after losing 4-1 to Arsenal. That there's not been a more booty cheeks manager in the Premier League this year. That has been overhyped, and I swear, you guys watch Tropic Thunder? You know that booty sweat drink? He drinks that all day, bro. That's how bad he is. Screw that guy.
Yeah, it's just, I think we have to count our blessings where they are in Amorim. I know Nelson wants to give him till the end of the season. I think he needs a lot more time with that. If we spent 500 million and this was the results, I would totally be like, okay, what are we doing? But the fact that we don't know what he's actually training. I don't think he's going to stick to one system. I think he's going to have multiple systems he's going to put into play. Once he has the personnel to execute them, we're going to be seeing them. 100%. But right now, we need to, at 6th, okay? With 6 academy players, 2 of which are on there because of nepotism, right? We have to back the manager, we have to back the players, and we have to ask more from the ownership. And bottom line, if they don't bring us what we need and give the manager the tools to do the job, no manager will do the job. We're gonna get Will Still, and we're gonna be running around with a 110 lineup, and it's going to be chaos.
I think as soon as Andy got on this, Ed went chaotic on me. Ed went crazy.
No, I think he's making more sense now. I'm going to be honest. I like this version of Ed.
Guys, I just want to say thank you to Shaylin, who just gifted 5 memberships, dude. And Nelson finally is a member and a real one now. So thanks, Shaylin. Nelson, for making you a real one on my channel. Thank you so much. Anybody else who got a membership from Shaylin, please throw up the W's in the chat and let them know you appreciate it. And there will be some member videos coming soon. Actually, I'm working on one right now. And then the other thing is we had another super chat come in from DVO66 saying the only way to clean this is to win next match. This meaning the mess we're in right now. And I think he's right. Like I don't think we can afford another bad performance next match. Even if we don't win, if we have a good performance, maybe people will start to relax. But if we start the year with a bad performance, I am nervous, and that's what I said early on before any of even Sean called in, that I am nervous for this manager right now, only because of all the negativity I'm seeing on X and all the boos I heard in the stadium with the videos. You know, I saw a lot of videos shot on phones at Old Trafford, and I know they weren't booing the manager, they were booing the players. I know that. But guys, that's going to turn on the manager too, because
100%.
You can't get rid of 20 players. You can get rid of one manager. Anybody who wants to...
I'll tell you what. Go for it. Yeah.
If nobody becomes available and we have these players that are available right now playing, it will be another disaster class, and there's nothing Ruben can do about it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is performance levels. Like, we just got to see everyone running, everyone sweat. Like, I want to see people coming off the pitch because they can't walk anymore.
We had that in the Newcastle game. I told everybody after that game, we're not going to have that every game, and everybody's like, "Oh, you're so negative." Look what happened now. We didn't have it. Ugarte wasn't even half the player he was against Newcastle, against Wolves, who are way worse.
And Ugarte, and let's be honest, he's going to be bad against Burnley because he's going to be tired.
Oh.
Yeah, he ran. It was a 3-man midfield technically that we faced, and Ugarte and Casemiro covered a lot of ground that game. I wish Opta would give us those stats. We don't get those stats anymore.
Yeah. If I may, Samix, I think the thing I'm worried about is that this squad can go lose 3 games in a row.
100%.
And so the fate of the Amram project actually rests on a lot of these squad players. So we better send whatever injections Jack Fletcher needs to turn forward and pass forward, man. Because I don't know, whatever that boy needs to get the job done. Because I'm worried. I hear you. Because it doesn't matter if he's the right manager. It doesn't matter if INEOS makes the right decision. Like, if we lose games, things are going to turn very quickly. And you and I are going to lose subscribers, buddy. That's what's going to happen. Like,
speaking
in
of
2
subscribers,
minutes.
another super chat came in. I am Titanium, bringing up my subscriber count, saying on the road to 9K. He's wishing me to 10K. Thank you so much, guys. If you're not a subscriber, please click that subscribe and help me out. And if you're watching this after the live, same goes to you. If you're not a subscriber, click that subscribe button. Put on your notifications, because even I don't know when I'm going to go live. So turn your notifications on, and you'll be here.
That's why I said what a treat that was, and you thought I was being a jackass.
I was like, no. Come on, anybody who was there, the way he said it was like...
No, Ed will back me up.
No,
Ed will back me.
Listen, I was there. Sean, that was a little sus, bro. But, I think you're good now. I think you're good. I believe you.
Show up.
All right.
It was your tone. It was your tone. Hey, I gotta let Toby in. He's a longtime guest. Let's put him on here. Toby, hopefully you figured out your audio. Last time was a little rough. Toby was here last week during Christmas, and he had roosters all in the background. For Christmas. Hey, Toby, I see your ear, bud. Oh, there you are. Hi. You good?
I don't see Toby. Am I tripping?
I see him. No, I see him.
Yeah, he's on. Maybe on the phone app you can't see.
Yeah, I think the phone.
I think he's muted. It's okay. We'll wait for him. He'll figure it out. Toby, buddy.
All right.
Oh no.
Can you stop now?
Toby, our New Year's resolution is to fix the audio.
Yeah, man, you got a crazy echo going, man. So there's a when you first join. So log. I'm gonna mute you real quick. Log out of Riverside again and log back in again. Come on the show again right now, but this time put cancel echo cancellation. I hope he heard me before he left.
No. I don't
He might be watching the stream. He might be watching the stream on YouTube. So
True.
Okay, so what were we? Andy was saying that with this squad we could lose 3 games in a row, and then the pressure is really going to be on. And I think I've heard Sean say this in past streams. It might have been on Footy with an Edges channel. Sean said that, like, hey, at some point the board has to act, even if they don't want to let go of the manager. And this is my fear, because you can't look complacent for a long period of time, especially because, guys, like, I know we don't talk about this enough, but the Glazers are still in charge. Whether like the Glazers are still on the board, they still have more seats on the board, and they still can force INEOS's hand to do something, even if they don't want to do it, right? And the Glazers aren't going to sit there and go, yeah, let's keep losing. They're going to go, we're going to need to do something to change the narrative out in public to let them know, like, hey, we're doing something about it. We're letting go of a manager, and that is my biggest fear, man.
Well, here's the thing. Just quickly, Nelson. Samix, here's the thing. What people don't realize is the most likely outcome is that Amram fails.
Yeah,
that is the
100%.
Most likely outcome,
100%.
and so that's why I don't appreciate the Ranson Banson. I'm sorry, Nelson, but Saids of the world who were just negative from the press conference. Like before the guys walked in, he's like, "Oh, I sacked this guy. He has no clue." You know what I mean? So because it's likely that you're right, that it's not going to work out, that he's not the right guy. It's very rare that a project does work out. And so for me, I'd rather be right about being positive than right about being negative.
Listen, shout out to the Biryani Bandits. Oh, and oh my gosh.
Toby, now it's feedback.
Toby, so Riverside's telling me to tell you to close every browser window you have except for the Riverside one. So can you close every window?
Poor guy.
I have a lot of windows.
Well, he sounds okay. I can hear him better, but I just maybe it's just too loud.
Feedback.
Maybe it's just too loud though.
Maybe change your mic volume.
This is POV of Sean giving me tech support. Oh no!
This is what
another Armenian to another viewer.
Hey,
this is what
my question. Why
scenes.
can't you guys just get it together? I'm always the one saying, "Hey, you know what? Why don't you guys just do this, do that?" Like, bro, I'm not in Minority Report. You guys, this is your channels. Like, come on.
Okay, hold on. I gotta mute Sean because this is not fair. I asked Sean for something and he goes, just copy and paste it, and he was totally wrong. So why don't you tell everyone here? Why don't you tell everyone here how you messed up when you were giving me advice?
No, because guess what? All you had to do was copy and paste it and just replace one letter, but still,
just one letter. Yeah,
but you know what? But Semi, have you tried turning it off and on though? That's the question.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
but. Toby, are we good now?
Yeah, Toby, are you good?
Yeah, I was just.
Yeah, Toby. Yeah. So tell me, what do you think of anything you heard on the show? Why, you called in to say your piece. Go ahead and say your piece.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of the reaction to the match, the Wolves match. I also watched Andy's video earlier today where he was talking about Goldbridge reaction to the match. And I feel like there's one thing that I've not really heard from a lot of people, which is the fact that this is a team that Amorim didn't want. This is a team that Amorim wanted to bench. This is not a team that Amorim wanted to use. Like, this is literally the team that when he played everybody, he felt like, okay, these are the good ones. These are the ones that will just sit on the bench. And maybe once in a while, even some of them don't even get on most of the time. Ugarte doesn't get on most of the time. Once in a while it brings them on. So I feel like it's very unfair to then judge them based on the performance of this team. And some of them have not even played for him before. The Fletcher, the likes of them from the youth team, they've not even played for him before. And you know how long it took the older ones to get the system. So now imagine how long it take the youth players to get the system.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's very unfair to judge him based on these performance and not giving time to be able to train these guys to be able to play like those guys as well. We've lost all of our goal scorers. Bruno, Mbomo, we've lost him. Even Mount. Andy spoke about like playing I think the 4-3-3 that we played in the previous match. He spoke about playing that and said he faults
4-2-3-1.
for not playing.
4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, he faults Amorim for not playing that. But I'm thinking you can't fault Amorim for not playing that because when Mount came out of that team in the second half, see what happened. It was just Mount that came out of the team, and then the team basically just collapsed on itself. So why do you think it's going to be better this time around when Mount is not there?
Toby, if I just may, he also changed the system when Mount came off. He didn't play the 4-2-3-1.
That's true.
He also moved Dorgu from the right to the left. So there were a bunch of changes that happened at the same time.
There were a couple of things that I wish didn't happen. And I agree with Andy there. Like, we don't really know how... It was definitely going to be worse without Mount. So let's not say that Mount wasn't... Mount coming off didn't contribute to how bad we were. It was definitely going to be worse without Mount. But he did make a couple of other changes where you're just going, I'm not sure that was a bright idea or not. But... to Toby's point, he is playing a lot of players he doesn't want to play, including guys, even before the injuries, before AFCON, he was already playing players he doesn't want to play, like Casemiro, right? He plays like every game, Casemiro. And in the beginning, when he first came in, he didn't want Casemiro. He thought, I don't think he ever wanted Casemiro. So to Toby's point, it's really hard to judge a manager who's having to fit what do they call it, like square pegs and round holes, or do I have that switched around?
Yeah, you got it.
It's the same thing. It works either way.
Yeah. And by the way, I got a shout out to Shaylin, who came in with a super chat while we were talking. He says the clearest statement of intent from INEOS will be if they sign a player early in the window. This will give us a clear understanding of their level on influence and on the actual operations and the Glazers. And I agree with him. And to give Andy a little shout out here, Andy on his stream said that he expects. Oh wait, was it on the stream or was it on the?
It was three Devils, bro. We're talking.
Then I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. Watch the Three Devils podcast for more on that.
Give us a teaser, man, for God's sake.
I'll just say, okay, yeah. So I'll just say it. I gotta go anyways. I gotta catch some Z's. But so on Three Devils, I basically made a prediction that I think INEOS are gonna do something in the first 3 days of the window. Because I just have a feeling that it's just a tap in, right? It would be the thing that would get the most fans on your side. And it doesn't even have to be a big thing. Like, we would latch on to a loan signing right now. We're so desperate that a loan signing would get us excited, would get us off our seats, and would give us some more content to talk about as well.
Andy, I'm so glad you finally realized that they're going to sign Mkhitaryan. I'm so glad. It's a tap in. It's just so easy.
I would take Mkhitaryan. I would take Mkhitaryan's dad right now.
I would take Mkhitaryan, and I'm not even joking. But
I know,
actually,
right?
To Andy's point before Andy leaves, I wanted to say this. What Andy said earlier also coincides with what Toby said, which is there's a good possibility we do lose the next 2 games. But here's the biggest thing. Us losing to Leeds would mean top Reds would lose their minds.
Yeah.
Just so you know, like
the stadium.
Yeah. The stadium's gonna explode, bro.
Yeah. We that's what the next.
Is that at Old Trafford though?
No, it's at Ellen Road.
Okay.
Ellen Road.
Thank
maybe
God.
that's a little bit better though, Nelson. That's maybe a little bit better. Because that's, that's Bell End Road, like I said earlier. But anyways, guys, on that note, I'm going to sign out. Nice to see you, Toby. Maybe you should join the call-in shows on Flavor of the Net sometime, too. Would love to have you, man. Nelson, Sean, Semix, if I don't see you guys before New Year's Eve, man, Happy New Year again. And Ed, you as well, bro. Pleasure. We'll see you guys next time.
New Year.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Take care. Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year.
Sorry, I had to jump off for a quick meeting, but I didn't hear anything that was talked about.
It was nothing blasphemous.
No.
Didn't miss nothing then.
So I've got a more tactical question for you guys, because you guys are the tactics guys. How do we what are we going to do against Leeds? How are we going to set up?
This is all Semix's to take because my tactics are 4-4-2.
I think we set up for a draw if we don't have that progressor. I think you don't play Cunha and Sesko. I think you play one of them, and I think you just stack the midfield as much as possible and try to play long ball counter and that's it.
Wait, sorry, did I hear that? You said you don't play both Cunha and
Nope.
Sheshko?
No, one of them or the other. I would
So, but
probably,
who replaces them?
Sheshko.
It's not going to be Xerxes. Like, I don't think Xerxes plays another minute for us.
I think
hope-
you play Shea Lacey. Screw it. We're already going with these
Please.
academy guys. Just put them in, let them do what they can on the counter, and let's just counter and sit back because we're not gonna. If we do not have Mount back, you cannot play any sort of system. Any system, in my opinion.
Do you guys remember when we played Arsenal once, and Ferguson played Rafael and Fabio as the two central midfielders?
Oh yeah.
One of my favorite games of all time. I banter my wife about that every day. I genuinely think we should play Shea Lacey. Like, we're lacking speed, in my opinion, if you play Xerxes up top. So I would much rather we play Shea Lacey. And even if it fails, at least I go, we've tried playing our best young player right now, coming out of the under-23s.
Let me get Toby to answer that question. Toby, I'm going to unmute you so you can answer that question before I answer it. Go for it. Toby, what do you want to see in the next game?
You know what? I would agree. I think the coach has to think of it in more of a the guys he has are not working enough, so why not just bring in some of the youth players, at least the better ones of them, that can actually do something. And even if they don't do something, I feel like the guys that we already have are not really doing anything, so we don't really lose much. You just get them more experience. And honestly, I don't have high hopes. Honestly, I do not have high hopes. But yeah, I'll say you should just bring in the younger players, let them try something. I really do wish Mino was around, though. I think Mino could have made a difference in the Wolves game.
This was his time. This was his time. You know, too bad he's injured, but this is what he was waiting for the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say that this is so hard. This is so hard. I don't envy him. I don't envy the position the manager's in. And I doubt he plays Shea Lacey, at least not to start. I just doubt as a manager that you could do that to a kid. I think we have to try the Delo Dorgu right side again, in my opinion. It was the best thing I've seen in the last 2 games. So if that means we're playing a 4-2-3-1 just so we could see that again, then that's what I would do. I just need to see those two again on the right side together. And if it works, then maybe we ride that train until our boys come back from AFCON and everything else. That's my opinion. So 4-4-2, 4-2-3, I don't see it as a 4-4-2. I think it'll be a 4-2-3-1 with those two boys playing on the right side together again. And let's see what they can do together. I think Cunha and Sheshko start. I just don't see Shea Lacey or anybody else. I think
he will. I think he's going to start them as well, but I'm hoping he doesn't.
Yeah, but it's a gamble. It's such a hard gamble.
It's already a gamble. We're already gambling. It is the shuffering era. Like I said, we are going to shuffer until AFCON's over. And we are shuffering.
And the problem is that, like, Leeds' midfield is nuts. Like, if you actually see how
Tanaka,
hard dude, that it's going to be... I don't want to see how Anton Starts is going to play against us. He's going
Toby, you look like you had something to say. Go ahead.
Yeah, I said I think I would also like to see Lisandro in the midfield. His cameo in the midfield, he really did well, and he really helped progress the ball from the midfield itself. So I think I'd like the way he moves in the midfield. And he reminds me of Bruno. Bruno would move in the midfield, take the ball, and turn. Right now, we don't have anybody that wants to turn. Ugarte doesn't want to turn. You gave him the ball, he just wants to return it back to you. So I need someone in the midfield that can receive the ball and progress the ball, and like just give that pass that just gets you and bypass so many midfielders and just gets you attacking. So I think I would really like to see Lisandro in the midfield.
Perfect. Toby, thank you so much for calling in, man. I got like 3 people waiting to get on, so if you don't mind, I'm going to get some of them on. I don't want to get too many things on the screen because I'm looking at the YouTube thing already. And if I start adding more, I'm not going to be able to control what's going on.
Yeah, no worries.
Toby, I'll see you next live. Please keep calling in.
You're at 8.5k subs now, by the way.
Oh, yeah,
Nice.
Right.
Thank you, guys.
let's
Thank you
go.
very much, man. Thank you. Toby, see you next time, man.
Very
Oops,
nice.
I muted him too early.
You know what could be? You know
Get
who can
Bishop
actually
in.
save us in this game, though?
Mm.
If Ugarte comes out and plays like he did against Newcastle.
Yeah.
Agreed.
He will.
He's the only one that can actually save us like he did against Newcastle, which is tough to say, right? But it's the truth. If he plays his best, he could disrupt that midfield because they are really strong, like he said.
And
then
He played
again-
really well. He
also
played really well
Leeds-
against Newcastle. I'll give you that.
I was gonna say Leeds like to also play football. Like they're not a low block team. They're actually they're good in the mid block because they've got some really good midfielders. And Stock is one of the greatest chance creators from deep like this year. I was clamoring for Stock in the summer window as like a desperation signing. So the fact that he's gone and done this, it's crazy.
Bishop,
And he's
what's
an
up, dude?
aerial threat.
First time you've called in, right, Bishop? First time I see you?
Yeah, this is my first time. I've been waiting for a long time.
Welcome, man. Can I ask where you're calling from?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Nice.
It's a
Welcome.
Jersey ting. Nice.
So it's
Yeah.
what, you guys are 6 hours away from New Year's, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
about
6.5.
Yeah, 6.5.
Fair enough. Okay, what's going on, man? What do you got?
Well, for me, one thing I've always wanted to talk about is Cunha. You know, a lot of people haven't really been paying attention to, what he has been doing recently. I don't know how to actually explain this even better, but he's been one of the major problems we've been having in an attack. Most of the time, he plays as if he's the only one in the team, right? He doesn't play with his players. When he's supposed to release the ball, he holds on to the ball more than he should. And when he should release it, he kind of actually play a wrong shot. So, I'm looking at how we can actually see the way to get him in a way whereby he can play more with the team. When he's in a position to play, actually play short, he can, and when he's not, he should actually, give the pass to the right person. So because in the last game, I see like 2 or 3, chances that were created that it actually wasted just because of the fact it was selfish. So that is one of the things, I believe one of the issue we've been having. And if it continues this way, it's going to be very difficult for us to actually win any game till, some of our main player comes back.
Yeah.
I agree with him in a sense that as a player, if Cunha has the ball and I'm playing off him and I make a darting run and I expand so much energy to try and get into the space and not get the ball, that's my energy expended for the next minute or two. And I can't press, I can't do anything else, I can't come back. And I think he's taking 2 players out of the opposing teams out of the game, but he's taking 5 of our players out of the game as well by not releasing the ball. And he's forcing a lot of players to work a lot harder to come back and try and retain the ball and do all that. Like Sean was saying earlier in 5-a-side, when I play 5-a-side and I make a run and I don't get the ball, I'm not running back. I'm walking back. and then the next time I see the same guy with the ball, I'm not making the same run.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
So
you gotta trust your teammates gonna feed you when you're working so hard, or else you're not gonna work hard, right? Like
Correct. And if Cunha would have scored some of those long shots he's been taking, we wouldn't be having the same discussion because those goals would have blinded us. But one of our own players is taking a lot of our players out of the game by not picking his head up and releasing the ball.
With that said, though, is there anyone on this panel that would bench him at the start of next game?
I
Yes.
would.
I would.
I would.
For who,
Yeah,
guys?
I would.
So it's not a matter of for who, it's a matter of from a managerial perspective. When you are the main guy, and when it comes to seniority, when it comes to attacking threat, we depend on him right now, and he's not making the correct decisions. You sometimes send a message that no matter how important the player is, you need to make sure that. And I get it, Jack Fletcher in a 10 is not the solution, Bendito Montado as a wingback is not a solution. So we won't get that type of Sir
Industry.
Alex or no, I'm talking about like when Sir Alex would reprimand Rooney and others while he was sending a message to Cristiano.
Yep.
We're not going to get that.
Yeah.
But that's something that needs to be done. Cunha is dying to get some relief from the pressure because he's not ready for that step up right now.
Okay.
I think it's criminal to even think about.
I understand.
He hasn't played enough. He hasn't played well enough. I'm with you. I'm with Ed here too. Like, if we had the players, if we had Ahmad and Mbeumo, I think there is an argument that you should bench him.
So I'm saying the objective thing to do for his development and betterment is to bench him. But what I'm saying is we cannot afford to bench him.
Correct.
But I would if the circumstances around the club weren't as they are right now.
As dire as they are. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So that it's so I think we're aligned in that.
We're aligned there. Yeah, for sure.
Yourself, Semix, what do you think? How would you deal with a player of low confidence like that?
You just have to pull him aside and watch game tape with him. In my opinion, like I'm a big believer in watching videos of yourself to make things better, no matter what sport you're playing. You watch your video and then you pause it in certain images and you ask the player, like, what do you think a good player would do in this situation? And then be like, and look at what you did, after, because he's not a dumb guy. Cunha is not a dumb guy. And by the way, we use words like I heard, by the way, Bishop, I appreciate you calling in and everything you said, man. So this isn't me saying you said something wrong, but because we're looking at a quick way to describe what Cunha is doing, we used a word like selfish. And I just don't see a selfish human being there by nature. I just think he's not performing well, if you will. Like you can look at some athletes and you go, that person's selfish by nature. Like in or out of the pitch, he's a selfish guy. I don't see Cunha in that same light. I think he's actually a fun-loving guy that people love to be around or whatever.
Semix, can I just interject? I don't even, and Bishop, you can speak for yourself. I don't want to do that. I think if we remove the connotation from a negative perspective, I think selfishness would apply to the actions when he views as what he could do. Instead of distributing to somebody making a gut-busting run, he takes the selfish option of trying to make it work for himself. We had with a lot of Lakers, Kobe was so selfish, but it's not because he didn't care about his teammates. He was selfish because he knew he was the best player on his team. So I believe he just it's a matter of trying to just redirect what the decision making is in the final third to be less selfish. Not as I think I love Cunha, the man, the professional, the family man, everything. I think he's just an exemplary sportsman of what I've seen.
He just needs to change from Wolves brain to United brain. I think he's still in Wolves brain mode.
Yeah.
Well, I think
it's a big step up that he's just not ready for right now.
Is it Wolves brain, United brain, or is it a player has to learn how to make the guys around him better? Like
I think he made the guys around him at Wolves better because the pressure, he probably performed like this at Wolves and people saw it, but the pressure wasn't as difficult as it is for United. You're going to get the most clicks, the most, like you have the transfer fee attributed to him. Like that, no matter what, they're just piling on. And United are in a tough
At Wolves, moment. You're not expected to win. At United, you're expected to win.
But can I actually discuss how exactly Cunha plays? Because the way he always played, whether at Wolves, Atletico Madrid, whatever, like, I don't know if you guys have played. Now, INEOS South Sudanese, so he's used to big, tall guys. I've played with South Sudanese. There's nothing worse than facing a 6'5" dribbler. When you play, the way Cunha plays is, because he's such a powerful dribbler, you notice he likes when the player's right behind him, where he can control where the guy is. And every time he dribbles past a player, whenever he's trying to get past a shot, I think in his mind he's going, I can beat this guy whenever. But the problem is he hasn't seen the support defenders coming. Every single time you see it happen, he can dribble past 3 or 4 players, but it's the same thing over and over again. He will get, I think one more season, we'll see the best of Cunha. I think after this season, you're going to see the best of him.
And also you have and this happens whenever you have a new player on the scene, what he does is new. But then now we've seen how deadly Cunha is. Defenses are now more braced for it. They know that he's going to like to ride contact pause. and he's not going to release the ball at the pause. He's not going to release it at the same. Sorry, he's not. He needs to release it.
Well, how long did Bruno carry us for?
Oh my god.
You know what I mean? And now we're getting a lot of main characters coming in, and I think Cunha is trying to be like, I'm gonna help as much as possible, and it's putting him in a negative light, but he could help himself by releasing the ball.
Yes.
Right? So beat the 3 or 4 and then release. Pause as well.
I can get in on this, man. I see you like trying to say something and then somebody cuts you off. Go ahead.
For me, Cunha problem is space that we have been given to in our team. In Wolves are the one always facing a more offensive team. So when he get the ball, he has plenty of space, and every single time he dribble one person, the next person is going to be a minute to catch up to him. Where in our team, most teams are coming and they're playing low blocks against us. So every single time we try to dribble, there's absolutely 3, 4 guys on them. And before, he didn't when he dribble, he shoots. For Wolf, he always dribble. At the end of that dribble, it's a shot, not a pass. So now it's coming to our team where we expect him to pass, but that's never been what he does when he was going on those long runs for Wolves. He always end up with a shot, and that's what he's trying to do. And like somebody said earlier, he needs to switch back from Wolves to United Brain, and like realizing that in this team you need to pass, because there's some players that might be in a better position based on what you just created, and that's the only thing that is missing. And his productivity, to me, Cunha is a weird player to me, myself. Like what I have to say, because I remember him. Was it Leipzig or Salzburg that he was before he went to Atletico Madrid?
Leipzig.
So
Hertha and then Leipzig. Yeah.
Yeah, he was. People forget that he was actually a striker. When they got him for Atletico Madrid, he was a striker, and they tried to play him as a striker, and it didn't work out. And when he went to Wolves, I was like, Wolves, of all the teams that he could have gone to in the Premier League, he dropped so much.
Well, remember, he went to Atleti right after Leipzig.
Yeah, but I'm saying like from Atletico Madrid to Wolves, you guys that is a huge drop off. And to me, he had the main character syndrome, where he has to be he was a big fish in a small pond. He's now coming into a big pond, and he's trying to be the big fish, and he's not quite the big fish yet.
But
and
the issue with Cunha though has always been like I don't say it's misprofiled, because I don't think we misprofiled him.
No.
But he was always an 8 who had the scoring ability of a 9. Yeah. And then they went, okay, so perfect position for him would be a 10.
Yep.
That's kind of the thing that happened with him. So I think he is perfect for a 10. And it's just time, great repetition, and then you'll see, to be fair, what both Shant and Ed have said, he should be benched at this point. He should have one game where he's like, sit down, but our squad is too thin to put him on the bench. That's the issue we have right now.
Right now, we can't bench him because he's the only talented player we have in terms of on his level. The problem in general, to me, I was saying that he's not the best player in the team when everybody's available. But to him, he thinks he is. And that's why he's dribbling too much and not trying to pass.
But don't you want that? Don't you want your players to feel as though they're the best players on the pitch? Because if we have a Cunha that is, to your estimation, doesn't believe in himself, he then maybe doesn't have as much impact on the game. Because I would argue that some of the progression that he does do when he attracts those guys to try to come in and then he can beat the man, we're not saying that everything he does is bad. We're just saying he's just not timed the release correctly, because all the other things, he's still demonstrating that quality. It's just he's a frustrating player. I don't think he's a bad player. He's very frustrating.
No, it's not a bad player. But when I was saying that, he thinks he's better than everybody else, there's a difference between knowing that, hey, some of your teammates are really good, but yeah, I'm better than them. And that to me show up when you can trust them to get them to give them the ball when you are not in the correct position. And to me, I feel like he doesn't quite trust them yet.
Do you remember when the season when Rooney wanted to leave and we had to play Nani and Berbatov?
Yeah.
And that was the first time we ever saw Nani like play at a level where youth went, oh. But have you ever heard what Berbatov said? Is the reason why Berbatov and Nani work so well is Berbatov always knew Nani would take too many touches.
Exactly.
So he started learning how to adjust his play for Nani. That's the issue. We in our team, the reason why you're seeing Mbuma play well is because Mbuma's a transitional player. So if you're trying to transition as quickly as possible, you're helping Mbuma. But Cunha, on the other hand, he wants the play to be a little bit slower.
Yes.
And he's pushing the pace. That's the difference. And eventually, you just adjust him a little bit, and you'll see a much better version of Cunha come up. It's going to come.
I agree with
Same
you
with
on
Šeško,
that.
by the way.
And I
Same
also
thing.
put another in there in saying that Cunha is the player we need. Plus, when we get control in midfield, Cunha be perfect. When we gain control in midfield, where we don't have to go as fast as possible to try attack, Cunha is the perfect guy. This guy can cycle the ball and find Cunha where he can basically disrupt opponent defense with his dribbling ability. He's gonna come good. There's no worry about that. It just, to me, he just needs to switch on a little bit. Where like you guys said, we can't really even drop him right now. There's no reason to drop him in terms of there's nobody else. Unless you want to go full deep into the academy, all the way to under like 16-year-old that are playing in the U18 right now, that you don't have any other option. And I agree with somebody said earlier. I don't think Xerxes is going to play for United again. I think it's over.
Yeah, I think that's over.
There's no way you scored, then you get taken off.
Yeah.
No matter how bad you're playing when everybody else was playing bad. So I think he's gone.
Bishop, does that pretty much wrap up your your Cunha subject for you?
Absolutely, yes. So I believe everyone has said something, and I might have actually used a harsh word for before. I saying it's selfish, but as well, I believe he just need to be told to be very conscious when he's playing, and when there's space, he can actually go for it the way he would want to. But when there's no space, he should actually give the right person the pass. So it reminds me of Nani. He does that always, at that time as well. So yeah, that's about it.
But I think Cunha also had to be selfish in at Wolves, and he's not come to the terms that he doesn't have to be selfish here.
Yes.
And once he comes to those terms, I think that's where we're gonna see that new Cunha that's going to be able to play with all these great players around him. You know what I mean?
Yes. And right now, I believe he's the only one that can actually help us at the moment. Every other player, is either injured or in AFCON. So he's the only quality player we have in our attack. So, I hope it changes for the better.
He's the only one that could dribble past the halfway line right now.
Yeah, he's the only one that can make a difference.
Yep.
He's the only one that can carry the ball, which is why I am desperately wanting Baleba to be the one we sign, because the Baleba can carry the ball. And I know people are like, he's not playing well. He's not playing well.
I thought I was the only one in that camp. It's good to see that you still on the Baleba train.
Oh yeah. I think that if we sign Carlos Baleba, I think he'd come good for us. I think he would give us something we don't have, which is penetration through that deeper end of the midfield, whereas Cunha is doing a great job of doing that.
So let me give you a question.
Yeah.
If you had to spend 100 million and you got to choose, right, your choice between Baleba and Anderson, who do you choose to spend that 100 million on?
Oh, that's Anderson, but only like that's Anderson because there's a little bit more to both sides of the ball there, and there's a little bit more in the distribute. Here's why it's Anderson. Also, I would be okay with. Oh man, people are gonna hate me. I would be okay with eventually losing Bruno with Anderson on the team. Whereas Baleba, Whereas Baleba coming in means we still need to figure out what we're doing post Bruno.
I 100% agree with you right there.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with what I just said. That doesn't mean Bruno doesn't get to play with Anderson. That just means that we already know what the progression is going to look like in 2 seasons.
But also Anderson can play in both center mid roles. Baleba cannot put.
That's what I just said.
On
in different words.
I'm not, but believe me, and I know the defensiveness is because there's people that are misconstruing some of the things you said.
The comments are going to go bad right now.
So, but trust me, I mean, you love Bruno. I've listened to you for God knows how long now. I can't get you out of my head, pause. But like, it's gotten to a point where if you have any type of view post Bruno, people will consider you being a hater. But no, in terms of the betterment of the system, progression of the team, we have to have different forms of creativity because we've seen what we are like without Bruno, and we don't have anybody right now. So we do need those different forms of progression. 1, 2. I have another question. If it was where I think we're probably going to land, 60 to 75 million, would you still rather Baleba, or would you go for Wharton maybe? Would you go for even for half that Ederson? I still think Ederson would provide a better value for the team based on what he would cost than Baleba right now if we just had one. I still think Baleba ceiling wise and going for next year and post Bruno, great. But right now, I think an Ederson is almost more important.
Is the question if we can get Baleba? Are you saying like
no?
If
I'm
we
saying
could
for
get Baleba,
60 to 75 million pounds.
So
would you do Baleba or Wharton?
Oh, so there is a Baleba in the options.
There is a Baleba option.
Oh, I'm going Baleba. I'm going Baleba. There's something he has.
I think Wharton.
Okay, give me a second. There's something he has, a burst of speed that we are freaking desperate for in that midfield that Wharton doesn't have. Like, he has that burst of speed that Wharton doesn't. Wharton is, to me, like, how do I describe this? A very smart player who tries to get there because of his intelligence. And if he's not there on time, he's never going to get there on time because he's not fast enough to cover the ground that I need covered in that space. But Wharton's passing ability makes up for it on the ball. Off the ball, though, nothing makes up for it but his brains. And for the Premier League, sometimes his brains, like if he was in Serie A or La Liga, that kid would be freaking perfect because they don't play fast. His brain is fast enough. Like
I still think Wharton is I don't know if I'm just a Wharton stan. And I know Ed's gotten off of the Wharton train recently.
If you put Wharton next to Baleba though, Shant,
like beautiful.
I'm hands down like perfect.
And I think that might be more likely.
Anderson, even next to Anderson, Wharton next to Anderson would also be perfect.
I'm just concerned that we need to be much better right now to attract Anderson. And we're at risk of even being priced out just due to not even being entered into the market. Like
I just want to thank Nightwing for the super chat, but I'm not reading it out.
No, don't please.
Sorry, Nightwing.
Not to go back, but remember when they were asked for 150 million. Like for example, you say like if we're gonna lose Bruno the next year, then we go for Anderson 100%. But let's say we're gonna keep Bruno for 1 to 2 years. And we most likely know Bruno is going to play in the position he's currently playing. In order to maximize Bruno, you're going to need Baleba. Because Baleba cover up for Bruno weaknesses in terms of him leaving spaces behind and not be able to cover as much space as any other midfielder. And Bruno cover up Baleba weaknesses going forward in terms of progressive passes and chance creation. So those two can work perfectly with one another.
I vehemently disagree.
You're taking Baleba over Anderson with next to Bruno?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there I wouldn't agree. Anderson's probably the only player I would take over Baleba because I think that Anderson's a smart enough player to where if he knows that Bruno's going forward, he'll do what Baleba would do for Bruno.
But the only caveat to that is that I don't think Anderson have the legs like Baleba does. And that's
he's covered the most ground. He's actually he covers the most ground in the Premier League and has the highest pass volume and the most progressive pass. Yeah, Anderson is a Swiss art. Anderson's too good. He's literally like he'll go into any team in the league. He's that good.
Hold on. Let me say this. He's playing next to Sangare, who's also one of the best, like one of the most highly in terms of work rate as a defensive midfielder. So Anderson is more like overall box-to-box midfielder in that team.
Can I tell you something?
That's the Bruno Fernandes role in our team.
Can I tell you something that also is going to piss off my whole entire chat? Thankfully, there's not hundreds of people here right now. Anderson's going to end up at City, and we're all going to regret it. because they're going to get their second Rodri basically in a different way. In a different, don't get me wrong. He's not Rodri.
Different profiles, but he would have a
he's
very
gonna
similar
solidify
impact.
their midfield, is what I
100%.
mean.
I'm so with you.
Yeah, like I just don't agree that like Anderson is a defensive midfielder. That's the point I'm trying to say. I don't think he's a defensive midfielder. So,
I'll throw it back at you. Baleba's worst performances this year have been in a more reserved role at Brighton, playing that Casemiro defensive midfielder role. So it'd be more.
But naturally,
he's not though.
He is. Like I'm talking about, like Baleba is a defensive midfielder. That's is the whole.
Did you watch Baleba in today's game?
No. Here's the thing. Like I'm not talking about Baleba today. I'm talking Baleba in general. The player didn't just became a worst player in the last 3 months or 6 months.
So I think we just have a different understanding of what defensive midfielder is, because the things that we want him to provide in our squad, the ball progression, darting runs, good shot on goal from end of the box, those to me wouldn't be typical defensive midfielder traits. For defensive midfielder, as I would see it, would be like an anchor, a sitter, a tempo setter.
On the
that's so that's I think it's just we have different conceptions of what that would be. Honestly, I don't think
the first stuff you named, the first characteristics are like the icing on the cake. That's the thing that makes a defensive midfielder a lot more valuable. But the fundamentals are the second set of characteristics you just named, which is, tempo setting, being in front, the first line of defense, right in front of the defensive back line, like reading the game, positioning yourself in positions where now you're forcing the opponent to have to go around you with their passing as opposed to straight through you, straight through the midfield. Like a defensive midfielder has to be, I almost want to say the most intelligent person on, like the Sergio Busquets, the Rodri. Like I would like my defensive midfielder to be the most tactically intelligent player.
Yeah. And if you get both, if you have someone that's physical and the one that is like dictating the pace of play, the calmness from the back, then you have a unicorn.
Yeah.
But to me, his physical prowess and his ability on the ball to progress so much outweighs that typicality that you've seen him play when he does play as a 6. You're not getting the most out of him if you just play him as a defensive midfielder. And that's what I think when we're talking about progression of what we're going to get him for. You're going to see him be much more diving into the press, the man marking, just completely like a dispossession monster. So that's all I'm saying. Like you look at the tackles, you look at the statistics, you say, oh, this is a great defensive midfielder. Yeah, that would be not getting the most out of him, in my opinion.
So that's why I say in caveat with Bruno Fernandes, because the way I was looking at it is like, who most complement Bruno Fernandes? And I would say is a guy that one of his biggest attributes is off the ball contribution in Baleba, because his defensive work rate is so much higher than most of them. That's why I thought him next to Casemiro him next to Bruno work better because of that. And especially in our team when everybody's so high, so much attack minded in terms of like, this is also assuming we're going to get a proper left wing back to play like Ahmad. And you're going to have like 2 attacking midfielders there, plus Bruno and a striker. The team is so much attacking that you're going to need somebody that is also good by stopping counterattacks, that can cover up when Bruno Fernandes pushed to that attacking line when he makes 6. And I feel like Baleba does that better than Anderson would.
Yeah. Bottom line is though, like, we need to get somebody in January, right? Like, we're not going to sit here and be too upset if it's Anderson or if it's Baleba. I think even Ayun would agree. If somebody comes in, it's better than nobody coming in. Yeah. And we need to do something in this Leeds game coming up. I think that no matter how well-intentioned we may be, it's going to be trouble for our manager, for everybody, if we don't do something in this Leeds game. Guys, I do want to wrap it up here. Thank you so much. We've been live for 2 hours. Thank you for everybody who's been here. Happy New Year for everybody who's either in the future or is going to celebrate New Year with me, which I think I might be the last time zone. No, I'm not the last time zone. But Happy New Year to everybody. Thank you, Bishop, for coming, man. Nice to meet you. Ayun, always a pleasure. I'll see you guys soon. I am going to do more lives this week. I'm not working this week because of the New Year, so I'll probably be live again tomorrow at some point. I will let you guys know as early as I can on X. If you don't follow me on X, follow me on X, and I'll let you guys know when I'm planning to go live. Usually it'll be after Andy. I don't want to get ahead of Andy. Let him go live first, and then we'll take a little break, like an hour, and then we'll go live again.